today's video I'm going to do an everyday rose gold makeup tutorial. It's my go-to look. So I start off with putting my hair back, like really back. It doesn't like to do it. Then I take my Loreal Telescopic Carbon Black Mascara and coat my lashes. I know it's weird that I do this first, but that's just how I do it. And I make sure to get my bottom lashes too. Then I take my e.l.f. brow pencil in neutral brown and do a really sloppy, messy, thick line under my brows. I'm not really precise about it. Then I take my Loreal Dip Brow Pomade, I guess you could call it, in Deep Brunette, and I just messily draw some hair strokes on to darken my brows. Then I take my BH Cosmetics Studio Pro Total Coverage Concealer in the shade Medium, and I carve out my brows. Then I take that same concealer and I tap it in all over my eyelid as a base, and I set it with my Rimmel London Stay Matte Pressed Powder in Sandstorm. Then I take my Tarteist Pro palette and I use that light pink shade first to just kind of add some depth and set like my canvas. Then I take that darker pink shade and I use that to actually intensify the pink. And then I take that magenta shade and I focus that a lot closer to the lid of my eye. Then I take that brown shade and I just put that on my outer corner and kind of blow it out quite a bit. Then I take that same concealer from earlier and I carve out my eyelid as a base for the eyeshadow. Then I take my BH Cosmetics Pride and Prejudice Zombie palette and I take the rose gold shade in there. I use this with a wet brush and I actually just put the eyeshadow all over my lid. Then I take my Colourpop Hello Kitty collection in Friendship File and I put that over top to kind of add that sparkle. Then I use my Touch in Sol No Poreblem primer all over my face. Then I use my Tarte Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Foundation in the shade Tan Honey, and I just bounce my beauty blender all over my face to blend that in. Once that is blended in, I take my Colourpop sculpting stick in the shade Yikes, and I just carve out my cheekbones, my forehead, a little bit on the tip of my nose, and a tiny bit on my chin. Then I take that same concealer from before and I just put a little bit of it on my under eyes, my chin, center of my forehead, and just the tiniest bit on my nose. Buff it out, and as I'm buffing out the under eye section, I buff it out in the shape of a upside down triangle. Then I take my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder and I essentially bake my face by putting an excess amount of powder on the places I highlighted and letting it sit while I set the rest of my face. To set the rest of my face, I actually use the same Rimmel powder from before and I just lightly tap that all over just to make sure all of the cream products are laid down flat. As I'm doing this, I am actually dusting away the Laura Mercier powder. Then I'm taking the Balm Bahama Mama bronzer, and I only use this to carve out my cheekbones. And then I take my Milani Bronzer XL, and that's what I use to actually bronze up the face. Then we just finish up the eyes really fast by taking that same brown shade and just lightly dragging it underneath my lower lash line. Then I take my BH Cosmetics Carli Bybel Deluxe Edition eyeshadow palette and I use that big gold highlighting shade to highlight my brow bone. And then I use that bronzy shade to highlight my cheekbones and then do the gold on top of that. Then one final coat of mascara and some brow gel to keep the brow hairs down. Some chapstick. And my Sephora cream lip stain in the shade Infinite Rose. Then I just curl my lashes and adjust them, and we are all set. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, comment, like, do whatever, and I'll see you in my next video.